and all the good that we have. And you go to our founder, Ernest Holmes. He says, because we fail to realize that the principle that we're using, the principle of I speak my word, the creative law knows how to bring it into my life. Because we fail to realize that this principle is not bound by precedent. We limit our faith to that which has already been accomplished, and then few miracles result. When, through intuition, faith finds its proper place under divine law, there are no limitations, and what are called miraculous results follow. What are called miraculous results, because sometimes that's the way it seems. But again, our founder is reminding us that it's us. The principle itself is not limited, and it's not bound by any precedent. We limit ourselves when we say, well, it's never happened that way. It's always been this way, it's never happened that way. We've just cut ourselves off from the flow of good. So miraculous results follow when we dare to say, there's a principle greater than we are, and it asks us to speak our word for whatever it is we want. I am healed, I am prosperous, I am whatever it is that I'm claiming for myself. As we do that, seemingly miraculous results follow. So it's up to us, because God's not limited. Now I mentioned this body. I don't know any better form of body that seems miraculous than a newborn baby. Don't you feel that way when a newborn baby is born? You just, oh my gosh, look at the little toes, and look at his little fingers, and look at his little cute little smile, and look at his little chubby legs. I'm really jealous of babies, by the way, because the only time you get to be chubby, everybody thinks it's really cute. Why not when we're older?
Because you probably don't let us see your thighs when you're older. We don't get to tickle your knees.
Because society says I'm supposed to hide those thighs. You want to tickle my thighs?
Hey now!
All right, we are devolving over here. That's all right. I am no jealous of babies. Okay, coming back to babies. You know, it seems so miraculous, and at the same time is exactly what we've been saying. It's a natural process, yes? But something greater than us knows how to give that baby everything it needs and bring it into the world. Fascinating to me about babies. One of my colleagues, Savannah Riker, some of you may have read some of her works in Science Mind magazine. She just recently had a birthday. She's young 30s. And she told the story that she was really, she loves to hear her mother talk about her birth, because she was a preemie. She was 10 weeks early, 3.5 pounds when she was born. And so much like Jani's story, there was that sense of, is she going to make it? Is she going to make it? The mother, Savannah's mother, is raised in this philosophy. So she knew that she just needed to pray, and she needed to believe that her little preemie daughter was going to be okay. So she was, because I just told you that she's now 30-something years old, and she's a minister herself, delightful young woman. But she says she loves to hear her mom talk about it, because one of the things that happened during the time was when she'd been praying for about a month, she was in the ICU, and was really hoping to get to bring Savannah home for Christmas. It was about a month before Christmas. Well, she got her wish, she got her miracle. She got to bring Savannah home just in time for Christmas. Savannah says she looks back at pictures of her and she fit inside a little shoebox. She was so tiny. She says her body, the pictures she sees look kind of alien-like. That's how she describes herself. But a newspaper took up the story 30-some years ago. And the newspaper, interviewed the mom and took pictures of the baby. But they put something in print on her incubator that wasn't actually there. The person writing the story added this. And so she's got this newspaper clipping of her in this little incubator, and what was written in was, miracle. Miracle. She's a miracle. So she loves to tell that story, because here she is thriving and doing well. Now, a little while ago I said that we celebrate. I call this, we celebrate the miracles in our life, because celebrate is much like gratitude. When we are in celebratory mode, we are in gratitude mode. And when we are celebrating, it's like we're saying to the universal spirit, I want more of this. This is what I like. Anytime we're grateful, it's like, this is what I like. When we celebrate, this is what I like. So we celebrate for the same reason that we express gratitude. That we get more of it. Besides, it feels real good to celebrate. Let's celebrate all the marvelous, extraordinary happenings in our life. And let's celebrate the tiny little ones that you might think, take that one for granted. Let's look for our lives as a miracle. Let's look at our lives. Let's look within our lives and say, this is a miracle, and this is a miracle, and this is a miracle. And then we join Einstein in saying everything is a miracle. This is a miracle. This is a miracle. This is a miracle. We're celebrating every bit of our life as a miracle. Today as a community, we're celebrating kind of a miracle ourselves. So a little over 2 years ago, many of you joined, there was a whole lot of us over in the hall, for a baby shower of sorts. The two kids were not, well, one of them was a baby, but the other one was not a baby. If you recall, Jim and Jolynn Christerna agreed to foster 2 children that they now call their grandkids, Izzy and Logan. You two come up here?
Yeah.
So you've seen these kids all the time, right? They come up every Sunday and they sit here with us. This is Izzy, Isabella, likes to be called Izzy. This is Logan. So some of you were at the baby shower, if you recall. It was to help Jim and Jolynn, who already raised 4 of their own kids, and were already grown kids. They took on 2 little ones. And they did everything they could to get these 2 little ones adopted to a beautiful family. Where's those pictures of them? Look, we got some pictures. Look. There's your guy. Look, Logan, see your pictures? You're in a box. You remember any of these things? Look at Logan with the bottle. How old was he when he got here?
16 months.
16 months when he got here. Now how old is he?
3 and a half.
He just turned 3?
He's 3 and a half.
3 and a half. And you're 9 or 10 now? 9. All right. So what we're celebrating, and it makes me very, very emotional, is that these kids have now been, or I don't know if the papers are done, but they're officially being adopted. And I would love for you to meet their dads, Mike and Sahara. We are very, very grateful for taking these 2 kids in as your own. We love them dearly, and we know that you will as well. And what I think is really, really cool is that this community is absolutely so inclusive to welcome in their new dads. And that in and of itself is a whole other level of miracle. And we're very grateful and very happy for these 2 new dads. And we hope that we still get to see you a lot. All right. So, over in the hall afterwards, we're going to have cake celebrating. You can meet the new dads. December 21st is the official date, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So very, very, very soon. Woo! So we're celebrating this as not a miracle and a miracle. You know, it's both. In one way, it's the natural outpicturing of a whole church full of people who knew that the perfect parents were there for Izzy and Logan. It's a natural outworking of the law. And on the other hand, it's a miracle. It's like a Christmas miracle. And a new family is born. It's a good thing. So I just want to end us with this Ernest Holmes quote that says, "We should expect the best, and so live that the best may become a part of our experience." Let's close our eyes. Let's pray. I close my eyes and I remember this one divine source that I've been speaking about.